I don't know if we can talk too much about it, but one of the songs that like hit me hardest was the song about your brother.
I tried to write a couple songs about him in the past, and I just felt like they weren't honest enough, and I felt like they weren't accomplishing what I wanted to accomplish out of it. Was really, giving him an apology that I felt like was overdue.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Audacy check-in. Today, a super special guest, the one and only Madison Beer is here. How are you?
Everything's good.
Good? You're excited?
I am. I'm feeling really, really good and excited about everything.
Well, the song's out now, so we don't have to wait forever for new Madison Beer. Home to another one. Why was that the first song to release into the world?
I think this was the first one I wanted to go with in a really serious way because it's just fun. I feel like it's really different. I feel like with Dangerous and Showed Me Being Out There, you get kind of that other taste of the album where it's, there are the ballads and there's the, 60s influence song, and then this is the other side of it. And so I wanted to give them a little tasting platter.
Biggest streaming debut, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It's so crazy, man. Thank you. I was not expecting that at all.
That's nuts.
It was really cool.
That's so
I
exciting.
don't think my fans were expecting it either. They were all like, oh my God.
Well, the album, wasn't it a surprise too? Like you just kind of came out and said.
I know. Yeah, it was so weird. It's how I wanted to do it. I wanted to kind of tease it and then just drop it on them. But it just felt bizarre, to be honest. It was just weird to post it and then be like, it's out.
Well, you know what else is doing great is the video, which was so fun.
Thank you.
If anyone hasn't checked out the music video, you got to see it. Because, I mean, you take such pride in like the visuals, right? Why are the visuals so important?
I've just always been someone that's loved music videos. I've loved all kinds of cinematography. It's always been a part of this that I've enjoyed so much. Before I was an artist, I was making like little movies on iMovie my whole entire life. That was my like main hobby. So I don't know. I feel like this, directing my videos and writing the treatments and being a part of that has been such a fun and exciting part of my career now.
What was the filming process for that? I mean, I feel like it'd be quite the production.
We shot the whole video in one day, which doesn't seem like we did, but we did.
Wow.
The alien makeup at the end, we only had 20 minutes to get me into it, and we somehow achieved it. Yeah, it was very impressive. The VFX,
Avatar people or something? That's wild.
No, literally, and they were incredible. And yeah, it was a very smooth, fun day. It was honestly the best day video shoot I've ever had. Usually videos are very stressful and not always fun. This one was really fun.
One of the albums, something that stuck out to me was how every song starts acoustic for you, and then you build it up into, say, like a dance track or something. Like, why is that the process?
We've just sort of found that that's how it works the best. We've tried to start a beat or whatever, and it just has never really worked out because I feel like you then commit to the vibe, sort of, versus creating a song, bones, on a piano, on a guitar. You can actually really appreciate the integrity of the actual song versus like getting like too drowned out with the production and like what kind of sounds are we using. So we just always like to do it like that, and we like to really focus on like the actual song. And I like to also be able to sing all of my songs acoustically and hope they sound good.
That's so cool. And you have some dance tracks on this. Like, why was it a decision to put those on the album? Like a little more upbeat dance style stuff? Is it for your show?
I finished the album and I was like, I don't really have anything that has movement in it, and I want to make sure that when I'm performing this album, I feel like I'm having fun. So we went back in and we just made a couple.
Something that blew my mind, and you've talked about it since, but it still is crazy that this is Lana Del Rey approved. Like,
I know.
First of all, sending that to her, was it just like a shot in the dark, and you're like, hey, I hope you hear it, or how did that relationship kind of form?
To make a long story short, she came up to me at a coffee shop.
Like the last place you expect to see.
Yeah,
Lana
it
Del
was
Rey.
just crazy, and she literally came up to me. I was also like in a hoodie. I don't even know how she saw me, but she somehow did. And she came up to me, and she was so kind and so genuinely supportive of me, and like knew things that I was like, oh, you actually
fan,
listen
like,
to my
following.
stuff. Like it was just so surreal. She's someone who I've been obsessed with since I started making music, and she's one of my biggest idols and always has been. So it was just a very surreal experience, and she was just so nice. And ever since that day, we've kept in touch, and she's just been the coolest to me, and I'm very, very appreciative of that. And I think it's really refreshing.
What are like notes from Lana Del Rey? Like, does she give you some encouraging words? Is it just like a thumbs up emoji?
No, she has a lot to say. Like, and that's like what I love about her is I feel like she's so opinionated, and I love to hear all of her thoughts about every song, and she's had a lot to say about them, and it's So cool.
It's amazing. I don't know if we can talk too much about it, but one of the songs that like hit me hardest was the song about your brother. Something you mentioned that stuck out was like, you tried to do this for a while.
Yeah.
Was a song about him, and this time it clicked?
Yeah, I tried to write a couple songs about him in the past, and I just felt like they weren't honest enough, and I felt like they weren't accomplishing what I wanted to accomplish out of it, was really, giving him an apology that I felt like was overdue. And so we just gave it another shot, and it flowed so easily, and it just worked, and we were all very emotional in the room that day, and it's a really special song. It's very, very special and important to me, and I think anyone who has a sibling can relate in some way to it.
What's like maybe the biggest misconception that people think about you maybe?
People are easy to write each other off, and I think people are very quick to pass judgment, which I think sometimes can be fair. And I think that obviously, of course, we all can watch a video and pass judgment on someone, but I think that in order to really get to know a person, you kind of got to give them some sort of a chance. I think that we should try to write each other off a bit less and just hear each other out. So I've kind of also just shifted my focus from proving myself to the naysayers or the people who don't like me for whatever reason, and focus more on the people who do and who want to hear me out and who want to give me a shot, because I think they're just more important.
I'm curious about how, in your eyes too, the music industry's kind of changed since you started, because you've been in it for so long.
Things 12 years ago were significantly different. I think that everyone's just kind of shooting in the dark and not knowing what's going to stick. So I think my biggest lesson has been to always stay true to myself. That's why someone like Lana is so inspiring to me, is because I feel like she's never really bent on trends or what's, expected of her, blah, blah, blah. She's always just been her and has made music that has felt authentic and has done things her way. And I've always really admired that about her.
September 15th, album's out. What are you doing in between?
I want to get something out relatively quickly after this album, which means like a year, guys. It does not mean like a month. So.
Yeah. I'm so glad you came to hang out.
Thank you.
It's always fun. It's nice to meet you and then see you again so soon. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you.